Hello everyone. Um, Welcome to my talk. In this talk, I will explain how to use the Groovy programming language as an scripting language, and among other things, um, one of the most interesting things is to interact with the operating system. So. Uh, I will structure everything with a guided example so we can see the points of interest when creating a script with Ruby. Um, that's it, the focus of the talk. So, well, my name is Tomás. I work as a software developer at Salenda, a software factory based in Madrid. Which, among other things, we do a lot of Groovy code. So, yes, the talk is available at GitHub also. You can check that URL. And you can see the slides along with some notes that I will use as a script for me, not for the computer, for me. So yes, you can check that out, and also the example code that I will show you step by step is available right there. So please, if you want to check it out, you can do it. I have to say also that my spoken English is, I think, is kind of poor, but I'll try to explain these concepts the best of my ability. So yes, well, first of all, there are three typical features in scripting languages. The first of all is task automation. This means that we can execute tasks without a user interaction. The second one is system control. Scripting languages allow us to control another system. For example, JavaScript is a scripting language that allows us to control the web browser. Other scripting languages allow us to control larger applications. For example, the Lua programming language and other scripting languages allow us to control the operating system. And the last feature is that scripting languages, software written in scripting languages are distributed as source code, ready to be edited and executed right away. No compilation phase involved, at least to be executed explicitly by the user. So there are some popular scripting languages out there for operating systems. One of them is Python. You know, our popular scripting languages, which is executed in Python, in the Python interpreter. You also have the Bash languages, the Bash language, which is the language for the Bash shell. There are other scripting languages for other kind of cells, like probably you use the C cell or the SH cell, whatever. And also we have PowerShell for Windows, Windows-like operating system. Bash is usually used in Unix-like operating systems. So, well, we can also use Groovy as a scripting language. And why? Well, because it has some advantage, which you all know, probably you all know the Groovy language. The syntax is very readable and concise and precise. And well, you can also, Groovy allows you to download external dependencies and use that libraries to execute tasks in your code, and also it as well as other scripting languages, it allows you to execute processes of the operating system. So that's it. Groovy fulfills the three features that I explained earlier. So we can use it as a scripting language. So well, to structure this, to explain the concept and structure this talk, I will show you a practical example, which consists in a script that, first of all, will parse some web pages from the Internet Archive, a public digital library that has some files of public access. So first we will extract information for web pages of Internet Archive. We will get the URLs of files that are stored over there in the Internet Archive, and lastly we will zip all the files that we are going to download on a zip archive. So well, first of all, we obviously need the Groovy binary and the Java development kit. Which version depends on the version of Groovy. As of today, the current version of Groovy, which is I think 2.4.10, recommends the Java development kit 8. So obviously we need this in order to execute Groovy scripts. So well, first step in creating the Groovy script that we want to create. Well, we make an empty file. We name it script.groovy. The .groovy extension is a convention. The Groovy scripts usually have this extension by convention. So that's the first step. And then we write the cbang. Well, the cbang is ## plus exclamation mark, which allows the system to recognize the program that will execute the script in Unix-like environments. So we point it to the binary location of Groovy, which in this case is, for my example, users as bin/Groovy. And well, you point it to wherever the location you have the Groovy binary. Then we can download external dependencies in order to perform the tasks that our script will do. And we do that with Grapes, which is a dependency manager embedded in the Groovy language. And using the @grab annotation and indicating the Maven coordinates of the library that we want to use, the dependency will be downloaded the first time that we execute the script, or resolved locally in case the dependency is cached in our system and it's already there. So yeah, for our specific example, we will use the JSON HTML parser. So that's it. We indicate the Maven coordinates, and the dependency will be resolved when we run the script. So well, next step, we'll write the custom logic. Remember what we want to do as part of the example that I'm showing you. First of all, we want to search content on the Internet Archive. Then we want to parse the results that appear on the screen that are downloaded as HTML, and gather the URLs to the files that we want to download. So it makes sense to write a class to separate all these responsibilities. So, as you can see, we can create a crawler class with some attributes, with some methods to perform the tasks in a separating responsibilities, you know. So, well, as you can see, the steps that I show you in the previous slide are the steps that are done in that method that you can see in the screen. First, we download the results page. Then we gather the torrent files. In this case, are torrent files because they are smaller in size, so it will take less time to download. And well, the details are omitted, but as you can see, we can create classes and separate responsibilities, which is something that in some scripting languages we cannot do. So, well, remember, how do we execute an external process in Ruby? Well, when we execute a process in our favorite cell, we write a command line that this one that appears on the screen, and we specify a command name, some options to modify how the program will behave, the arguments, which is the information to pass to the program that we want to execute. We maybe have some quoting to escape meta characters of the command line. We may pipe the output of the process to another process, and lastly we get an output. So, well, in Ruby, we just, in order to execute a program, we just have to write this command line in a string or in a list implementation, and calling the execute method, which is provided by the GDK, the Groovy Development Kit extensions. We can get a handler, a process handler, that will let us manipulate the process, like get its standard output, get the output that the process will write to standard error, or pipe the standard output of the process to another process. We can take control of the process that we want to execute. So, well, in the example that is structured in the talk, we want to download the torrent files, so we use the wget utility. We construct the command passing all as arguments the URL, the URLs to the torrent files like we gathered previously, and we execute it. In this case, the wget utility prints its output to a standard error, so we have to get the standard error output instead of ignoring the standard output because we don't have interest in it. So, as you can see, we can take control of the process and run it and get its result. Another interesting thing is that we can also pipe processes. So, in this case, we are taking all the torrent files, and in order to do that, we pipe the output of the ls program utility to the Grape filter in order to extract all the torrent files in the directory with which have been downloaded to our machine. And in the we construct a pipeline, and in the last process in the pipeline we extract its standard output, and finally we execute another process in order to zip all the torrent files that have been downloaded. Another interesting thing in Groovy scripts is to read command line arguments. There's a library called the rubyutil CLI builder, which allows us to define the different options and arguments that our script could receive, and it's very easy to do this with this utility, and it can also it lets you define even the help information for the options and arguments that the Groovy script can receive. Well, lastly, we execute the Groovy script. Here we are seeing in real time what the complete Groovy script that I've been showing you, which obviously has, as I said, has details omitted, but you can check out the code in the GitHub repo. So as you can see here is what the script has done is download all the parse the content and download all the torrent files and then zip them. And well, in Spanish, when we has something left unsaid, we said that we left something in the inkwell. So there's some interesting thing just for reference that you can use in Groovy script, like reading environment variables, printing to standard error, reading from a standard input, and you can also execute processes in Windows, but specifying the command interpreter explicitly. So some conclusions. Groovy serves nicely as a scripting languages. As you can see, we can do the same things that we do with other scripting languages. Try not to write huge scripts. Sometimes you are better off writing a full project with a build management tool support or little scripts. And well, consider mixing Groovy with other scripting languages. Leverage their strengths. And lastly, you can learn more at this reference in the GDK API. There's a lot of information for what I've just shown to you in the process class, the Grapes class, CLI builder, etc. Well, that pretty much is it. Remember, I know that this talk is very short, so you can check out all the content in the GitHub repo. So that's it. Thank you.